Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to peel back the layers of Harper Lee's incredible novel, To Kill a Mockingbird. We're going to dive deep and uncover the hidden language of symbols that gives this story its timeless depth and, honestly, its enduring power. This one line, right here, it is so much more than just a piece of fatherly advice. It is literally the key that unlocks the entire moral universe of the novel, and we're about to see exactly why. I mean, with more than 30 million copies sold around the world, this book is a total phenomenon. But its real magic, the thing that makes it a true classic, isn't just in the plot. It's hidden just beneath the surface. And think about this. From the moment it came out, this story just captured the world's imagination. It won a Pulitzer Prize in its very first year and became an Oscar-winning movie right after that. This story obviously struck a major chord.
So, here's what we're going to do in this explainer. We'll start by setting the stage, then dive into the whole idea of symbolism, the novel's hidden language. After that, we'll unpack the most famous symbol of all, the mockingbird itself, before exploring a whole world of other symbols. And finally, we'll look at how you can start finding these deeper meanings for yourself.
So, how do great stories get across these huge ideas without just spelling them out for us? Well, they use a kind of hidden language, and in literature, that language is symbolism. So what is symbolism, really? To put it simply, it's when one thing, an object, a person, even an animal, stands in for something else entirely. It's kind of like the writer's secret code, a way to pack these massive concepts like justice or prejudice or innocence into a single memorable image. And this is why the book feels so powerful. See, Harper Lee isn't just telling us a story about some small town, she's using that town and its people to explore the biggest questions about who we are. Understanding this symbolic layer is what takes it from a good story to an unforgettable one. All right, let's get to the heart of it all. The Mockingbird. I mean, it's the title of the book, but what does it actually mean? Well, the novel gives us a pretty direct clue right here. Miss Maudie tells Scout point blank that mockingbirds are harmless creatures that only bring beauty into the world. Okay, so this is the first layer of meaning, the one most of us learn in school. The mockingbird represents pure, defenseless innocence. It doesn't hurt anyone, it just offers beauty, so the sin of killing one becomes this ultimate act of senseless cruelty. It's the sin of destroying innocence itself. And this is where it clicks, right? You can see how this symbol applies directly to the characters. Tom Robinson and Boo Radley are the most obvious examples. They're harmless men who are persecuted by society. You could even argue that Scout herself is a mockingbird, whose childlike innocence is being threatened by the ugly world around her. But wait, hold on, because there's another layer here, something that a lot of people miss. Biologically, what are mockingbirds famous for? They mimic the songs of other birds. They are master imitators. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting. On one hand, the mockingbird is this beautiful symbol of pure innocence. But on the other hand, it can represent the vice of blind imitation. Think about the townspeople of Maycomb, just mimicking each other's prejudices without a second thought. Even Scout starts the book by just imitating the world she sees, and her whole journey is about finding her own song. Now, the mockingbird might be the star of the show, but believe me, it is far from the only symbol. Harper Lee packed the entire world of Maycomb with things that carry a hidden, deeper weight. Remember the mad dog scene? That wasn't just some random action sequence. The dog, Tim Johnson, is a symbol for the sickness of racism that's infecting Maycomb, this madness that has to be confronted. And who's the one who has to face it down? Atticus, all by himself. And get this. Even the sheriff's comment right after Atticus shoots the dog is loaded with meaning. Was Atticus's aim just physically a little to the right? Or could it be a hint that his whole approach to fighting the town's injustice was also slightly off target, maybe too conventional or even politically to the right? It's a fascinating thing to think about. And the symbolism goes even deeper, like right down to the town's flower gardens. You've got Mrs. Dubose's white camellias, which represent an old, deep-rooted prejudice that you just can't weed out easily. Then you have Miss Maudie's tough azaleas, symbolizing her resilience. And finally, you have Mayella's sad little geraniums in those pots, just a desperate grab for a little bit of beauty in a really ugly world. Okay, so this brings us to a really important point. Spotting these hidden meanings isn't just for literary critics in some ivory tower. It's a skill that anybody can develop. So how do you actually start reading like an analyst? Let's break it down. The key to a good analysis is that you're not just making stuff up. A strong interpretation needs to be backed up with evidence, kind of like a detective building a case. And there are two main places you can look for that evidence. The first approach is to look inward. Some critics call this centripetal reading, but really, all it means is you stay completely within the world of the book. You connect clues and patterns that Harper Lee gives you right there, inside the story. The second approach is the total opposite. You look outward. This is called centrifugal reading, and it means connecting the novel to the world outside the book. For instance, the story is set in the 1930s, right? But it was published in 1960, at the peak of the civil rights movement. Knowing that historical context adds this whole new, powerful layer of meaning. And honestly, the best, most powerful interpretations do both. They use clues from inside the text and then back them up with context from the outside world to build a really, really convincing argument. So let's end with one final thought to get you started. Think about this. Boo Radley stabs someone early in his life and society locks him away. He stabs someone again at the end of the novel to save the children, and society sets him free. What does that perfect mirror image symmetry suggest about justice, about violence, and about what it truly means to be a mockingbird? The answer is waiting for you in the pages.